We have not heard back. He's facing charges of reckless child abuse, but tonight a man accused of badly hurting his girlfriend's toddler is able to go home. Joshua Gonzalez bonded out of jail today. He's accused in the beating of a 2-year-old that left that little girl with bruises, fractures, even a dislocated shoulder.
Next week, City Council is going to consider extending Denver's safe occupancy program. That gives building owners a chance to get their building up to code without completely closing. Now, the new bill will extend the grace period from January 19th of next year to the beginning of March. Slow as molasses. If you drive it, you know what traffic's like on that stretch of Tower Road from Pena Boulevard north to Commerce City. But relief is on the way. Denver 7's Lance Hernandez is learning about a proposed agreement to fix that bottleneck. Lance?
Well, here in Commerce City, it's recently been widened to 4 lanes wide. There's an island out there in the middle. Over here in Denver, though, it's still just 2 lanes wide. In late afternoon till about 5 o'clock in the evening, traffic backs up. But both communities now working together to try to fix that.
That road just gets so blocked up and congested that you can't really move as fast as you want to.
As Commerce City stretches out onto the plains, more and more traffic is using Tower Road. But there's a bottleneck just north of Pena causing some big delays.
10 to 15, depending on the time of day. So it would be more helpful if they could fix that problem.
On Monday, Denver City Council will vote on an intergovernmental agreement to widen the road. It's in Denver, but it benefits Commerce City and its growing neighborhoods to the north. Under the proposed agreement, Denver will pay 100% of the construction cost, but Commerce City will pay for the environmental study and design work and will be in charge of construction. It's a $6.5 million project that will be paid for over a 4-year period. The already widened section in Commerce City is a hint of what it will look like when it's done.
I'd like to see that road open and so we can get to work and get home as fast as we can.
Now, Tower Road is a key economic corridor in Commerce City. Because of its proximity to the airport, you will soon see sidewalks and even a multi-use path along this corridor. In Commerce City, Lance Hernandez, Denver 7.
Hey, every bit helps. Thank you, Lance. And we have new details about an expansion at DIA. The airport is adding 39 gates by 2021. That's 14 more gates than originally planned. It's another sign of Colorado's growth. Airlines keep adding routes, which is why the city wants to expand DIA. That will happen at the same time as the $2 billion terminal renovation that will move security screening and improve concessions. And the Mustang bus service, it has seen a huge increase in riders, and now CDOT is considering a major expansion of that. From Denver's Union Station, riders can go up to Fort Collins, west to Glenwood Springs, or south to Colorado Springs. Well, a coalition of dozens of regional leaders wants to expand it to other cities like Pueblo and Grand Junction.
There's a lot of places that could use a baseline transit system, and Mustang is providing that in the places that they're running right now. We just want to see more of it. Clearly, people are using it.
The Mustang program has only been around for 2 years, but CDOT says it has seen a 100% increase in ridership.
And we have a traffic alert for you. Right now, traffic is being squeezed from 4 lanes to 2 over a bridge on southbound I-225 between Yosemite and Interstate 25, while CDOT adds a lane there. And when work is all done, that new lane will mean people getting on I-225 there will only be able to go north on I-25 when they get to the end of the interstate. And we have an important reminder: if you use the Highline Canal Trail, CDOT's closing part of that as it goes under C-470 near McLennan Reservoir and Santa Fe Drive for about 2 months. There'll be a detour using County Line Road. The closure starts Monday. The trail will be open this weekend.
A new vaccine just approved by the FDA that fights shingles was developed right here by local researchers. This new drug is called Shingrix, and it was developed by the University of Colorado, and studies show this drug is 90% effective. And shingles is a painful rash caused by the same virus that causes chickenpox. Now be smart on the roads, would you? More officers will be out tonight as we head towards Halloween, so that means DUI checkpoints, saturation patrols, and increased law enforcement, and that goes from tonight through Halloween night. Over Halloween between 2011 and 2015, nearly half of traffic deaths involved a drunk driver. That's according to the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration. On Halloween in Colorado last year, there were nearly 300 DUI arrests.
We have some sad news out of the Denver Zoo today. They had to euthanize 3-year-old tiger Martin. He was diagnosed with an aggressive form of leukemia.
Yeah, keepers noticed he wasn't eating or drinking earlier this week. They even tried to give him a blood transfusion from another male tiger, but vets said his disease was too far along. Martin came to the Denver Zoo in July of this year from a zoo in Russia.
We have much more ahead for you this evening, including a rescue at sea. These women survived for months, floating in the middle of the ocean. How the Navy finally found them.
But first, it's convenient, but is it safe? We look at the trend of smart technology in the home so you can see if it's worth the risk.
It's chilly out there. Temperatures are in the 30s currently in the metro area and even 27 at Conifer. But out to the west, upper 50s, even some 60s. You get to Utah, it's coming our way, but so is the next snow. I'll have all the details.
We know somebody knows something.
Everybody thinks, oh, that stuff like that doesn't happen here. It does happen here.
It appears to be a crime of rage.
It was all over the news.
Investigators say 10-year-old Jacob McKnight was stabbed to death, struck many times with a knife.
The rain that night washed away evidence.
That group of suspects has not changed.
There needs to be answers. Somebody knows something.
We would like that person that has that key component that we need to come forward.
We've been talking a lot this week about Amazon's new inside-your-house delivery service made possible by this keyless lock.
And it could save time, but how much do you really know about those locks and their security? Here's Denver 7's Jace Larson.
Corey Hansa loves keeping up with the latest technology.
How many times have you gone to work and you're like, did I forget to lock the front door?
For him, it's all about convenience.
When I have, say, a plumber or electrician or whatever the case may be, it makes it really easy for them to, actually get into the house before I can even get home.
Now that Amazon has introduced a service that will allow delivery drivers into your home too if you install a smart lock, curiosity got the better of us, and we wondered just how safe are these locks?
They're going to sniff that traffic.
We sat down with one of our favorite hacking experts, Joe McManus.
My concern would be, can someone hack this device? It's Bluetooth, so yes, you can.
Using Bluetooth sniffers, someone could capture the code to your lock while it's traveling through the air.
The range for Bluetooth Low Energy is 100 feet.
So think about this. If I'm unlocking my back door, well, it's conceivable that somebody in the front of my house could actually be obtaining that signal and using it later. That means they could do it all from the street. Consider this too. Most of the locks nowadays use more than just Bluetooth.
They're going to have Wi-Fi enabled so they can control when the lock is going to be locked or unlocked and the person can do a delivery. So now you've got the internet as a vector for attack.
All of that takes work, he says, and burglars might take a much easier path inside your home. Hansa is excited for the service. He thinks it'll make his life easier.
It's really been able to give me more of a peace of mind. It's actually more convenient for me for someone to put that inside.
Jace Larson, Denver 7.
All right, pay attention, Colorado, because you're slacking. A new survey says we are behind the national average on how much money we are spending on candy for trick-or-treaters. This is according to Denver-based shopping app Ibotta. We're only spending just over $12. That's less than the $16 average. Of course, that's nothing compared to what they're spending in Oregon. The average home there spends about $40 on candy.
I don't think they took the Ogden household into consideration.
Or my household either. We love the candy at our house.
Oh, we used to give away a lot of it, but since we've moved into an active adult community, there's a lot fewer trick-or-treaters.
That's the place to hit up, right?
I think so. That's right. All right, let me show you. It's pretty sunset right now in the Denver area. Some mid-level clouds out there, a little bit of color in the sky, and those clouds are actually a signal of a warming trend coming our way as we head into the weekend. 41, we could use a warming trend, was the high today, and 13 the low this morning. That's only 2 above the record, which is an old one back in 1925, and 20 degrees colder than normal. It's 38 downtown and at the airport now. Pressure's rising. Winds, at least, are light. And across the country, there's a big chunk of cold air over the central part of the United States, and that's because there is a storm system that brought us our rain and a little bit of snow over the last couple of days. Is moved off to the east, producing snow in Minnesota and Wisconsin. Milder air coming our way, and there's a little warm front right here. And that warm front is bringing in those mid-level clouds and a little bit of snow possible tonight above 10,000 feet, only maybe an inch or two at the most. Lows tonight are going to drop down into the 20s in the mountains, and we'll we'll see 20s and 30s on the plains, so no teens expected this time around. Front range numbers by morning under a partly cloudy sky, about 32 out at the airport. We'll see readings in the mid-30s toward Boulder and Broomfield, and downtown around 30 degrees. So kind of a mix. Tomorrow morning we'll have a pretty sunrise, I think. There'll be some snow showers in the high country. They won't last long, and that's actually that little warm front moving across the area. So temperatures tomorrow do bounce up quite a bit. 60 at Fort Collins, 57 for Denver. Mountains will mostly be in the 50s, although Leadville a little bit cooler. Some low 60s over the southeast part of the state. Front Range area, mostly mid to upper 50s under a sunny to partly cloudy sky. So a very nice Saturday. If you're heading up to the mountains for a little bit of skiing, a couple of resorts open. Temperatures there should be in the low 40s. Metro area could be a nice day to get out and rake some leaves, play some golf, just enjoy upper 50s, and expect the temperatures to be upper 40s to low 50s up toward Blackhawk and Central City, if you're betting on that. Partly cloudy, cold tonight, 30 for a low temperature. Tomorrow's going to be mostly sunny and 57. Winds will be a bit gusty at times from the west. Looking ahead, this is Saturday into Sunday. Great weather coming up. A beautiful day on Sunday at noon. But look at that. Here comes the next snow. By Monday morning, Monday's going to be a cold, kind of snowy day, and that snow lingers into early Tuesday before breaking up in time for trick-or-treat. So, 7-day forecast. A lot of changes coming up. 57, mostly sunny tomorrow. 65, beautiful day on Sunday. Light snow, perhaps a couple of inches Monday with a high around 40 degrees. For Halloween day, some morning flurries. And then we'll have a high of 48, and trick-or-treat temperatures should be dropping back to around 40 degrees. Expecting the ghouls and goblins to get out there. You might need a little light jacket coming up because the temperatures will be in the 30s, but I think the snow will be done. Won't be the snowiest Halloween, but not the warmest either.
But the trick-or-treaters are going to need the layers for
yes,
sure.
They will.
All right, thank
Allison's
you, Mike.
in tonight with sports. How you doing?
Good. I'm talking about the Broncos.
Of course.
We're always talking about the Broncos.
Yeah.
Of course we are. We're always talking about how every game is a big game for the Broncos. The head coach, Vance Joseph, is calling this a must-win against the Chiefs since they're on a 2-game losing streak. I also think fans have almost forgot what it feels like to celebrate a Broncos win. I'm joking, but seriously, the Broncos need to do something to put points on the board and limit turnovers on offense. So today they did something by having a full practice instead of their usual Friday walkthroughs, since they didn't play until Monday night. And Trevor Siemian says there are mixed feelings going into this division game against the Chiefs.
As a team, we're kind of in this weird spot where we're frustrated with the way things have gone, but shoot, we're excited too. We got a chance to get back right in it on top of the division with a big game. We're playing Monday night.